Donnie beatvla.
What is good, everybody? It's Donnie B. Got the Beats. We live for another edition of The Beat. We in season 6, ladies and gentlemen. Dare I say, Happy New Year. Dare I say that, yo, because you wouldn't believe we all made it. We all here in 2023. Pour it out for the homies that didn't make it to 2023. That's a thing too, but we're going to live it up and we're going to do it, live our best lives for those who ain't here, and we do our jobs to represent. So I'm very excited for what I got going on to finish out the season and what we got going on in season 7 coming up. I got a lot of people lined up. I just needed to take that mental break at the end of 2022. But, dare I say, like I said before, dare I say, we made it to 2023. So Happy New Year. And I wish everybody nothing but the best success and the best of fortune. With that being said, I want to bring on my brother right here, man. But first, we got to stop for that glorious intro, y'all. You know what time it is. So if you're not familiar with the beat, I try to get the best talent whatsoever that I can find. You guys got to know that I really do my homework on these individuals that reach out to me or I reach out to them because they have unique stories, they have unique backgrounds, and if not nothing else, they're extremely talented and dope at what they do. This person that I have on tonight, he was on a special guest, season 5. He's related to one of my favorite people in the world. Shout out to the Jasmine Siders, aka I'm gonna just go call Jazz. We just gonna leave it like that. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Look, I want to say this brother here is dope. Poet, recording artist, music producer, he a director now. Like, it's crazy. Like, he's all over the place. He's touring. He's about to start touring. I'm lucky to have him right now. But I'm gonna do something different for y'all. I'm gonna shoot this video out for y'all just so y'all can check out this man's work. Check him out.
The idea of legacy always drives me as an artist. And I think I've said this to you before, and I'm going to say it to it again. Legacy is everything. And the impact I'm going to create and leave as an artist is everything. You have to share your story and be honest with your audience. Always be honest with your audience and be truthful to yourself and be truthful to your message and be truthful to your art. Because at the end of the day, that is the legacy you're leaving behind.
Look, not too many of my guests had trailers, you know what I'm saying, coming on this show. So I'm gonna just go ahead and leave it just like that. You see what time it is. You see what with your own eyes, what energy he puts out into the universe. I have the privilege, just the honor of having on this brother here, recording artist, poet, music producer, director, entrepreneur. He's all over the map, ladies and gentlemen. Chrissiders, what's going on with you, brother? How you doing, man?
Much love, much love. I'm blessed to be here. Man, I had to say, watching that EPK, it really brought a tear to my eye. I haven't watched it in a minute. I mean, it just came out like October, November time, but it's still, it's been such a long trek, such a long journey, and especially so many different things that happened between now and the last time we spoke. You know, because when we first spoke, I was just about to head out on my first independent tour. Now I'm done with my first independent tour and about to go on another tour in just like what, like 10 days, 10, yeah, 10, 11 days or so. And so many different things I learned, and it's so wild how we always glorify like the idea of like touring, like, yo, I'm about to go on tour, but it's so much work behind it.
Yeah.
Like it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Like it hits your pockets, it hits you mentally, emotionally. It's a challenge. Like that, it's no joke. This is work. It's work. But yeah, man. Overall, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Grateful I'm here.
Well, I again, like I said, I'm privileged to have you because I know that how much work is put into it, and I know how much work you put into it because I see it every day. I look up and it's something. Damn, he over here too doing this. Well, damn, he over here doing this poetry. Well, damn, he over here performing this. Well, damn, he's over here shooting that. Brother, you got a lot of stuff going on with you, and it's amazing, man. So, we're gonna get to that tour life. That's a great point to touch on. We're gonna get to that later in the interview. But for those that weren't familiar, that missed the episode, make sure you go back and check out his full story. We're gonna truncate it because he's been on before. But I do want to catch you up. Chris, do everybody a favor and tell them just who is Chrissiders.
Chrissiders is a creator. A lot of folks ask me like, oh, you consider yourself a rapper, you consider yourself a poet, more of this, more of that. I'm just a creator. I like to create things. Whatever speaks to me is what speaks to me, you know. Modeling might speak to me more than rapping at a point, or producing more than like spoken word. It's all kind of like everywhere, you know. And the whole point of it all is just to like resonate with people and get people to share stories, because I'm still on the same tip, because a lot of folks, when I run by them and like ask them like, oh, why you have this fear creating, why you have this fear putting out your work or taking a bet on yourself, it's the whole idea of like sharing those intimate moments with like your audience and with your people. And even right now, I'm a spoken word instructor at Fairfax High School and LA High, and my students, I'm dealing with ninth graders, and um, they're not really all that open. And I figured like there's the concept of emotional intelligence we don't really talk about as much. And without saying emotional intelligence, I'm teaching them that as a segue to get them to share their work and their art and the things that they're interested in. So yeah. So overall, Chrissiders is a creator.
Yeah. Listen, I'm glad that you brought that up too, because that's something that I'm real big on too. Emotional IQ is something that it needs to be talked about just as much as mental health awareness. People don't understand that there is a quotient for being emotional. There, you have to understand it. It's just like, certain principles, and you get to understand those. You get to understand how to navigate, how to motivate people, how to move people in certain kind of ways, how to reach out and touch people. You know what I mean? But the fact that you brought that up, brother, try to tell you, man, just another thing that made me like Chrissiders, man. I'm serious.
Hey, man.
But
It's just one of them things where like I grew up in an environment where I gotta learn quick. And just as a black man, like you gotta learn quick, or else like you'll be hurt, killed, or in jail. And for myself, I just learned quickly because I had a temper growing up, and I almost got expelled from high school for fighting. And the thing that almost like set it like to where I almost got expelled and sent to juvenile hall was I was like choking a kid, like kid in my same class. Um And so I had to check myself and really understand like what it means to be emotional. Of course, I didn't really know what it means until like way later on in life, but just back, like understanding emotion at such a young age is pivotal. It's essential. So yeah.
Well, kudos to you for understanding that and actually, giving it back to the community, to the young men coming up, because, coming from where I'm from, we didn't have a lot of people that reached out to us, and the people that we did, we looked at them like, you know what I mean? It was refreshing, so kudos for you to give that back and to share that knowledge base back with the young people coming up. I want to also, I was getting ready to go into the next question, but I want you to highlight too, let people know where you're from, and because I know you're talking about you're at local high schools and stuff like that, but let them know where you're from too.
Los Angeles, California, all over. I claim I claim South Central, and I claim Monterey County. Because my thing with South Central, I went to school at South Central all my life, from Calvary Christian School off of Manchester, and View Park High School off of Crenshaw and Slauson, and this other school in off of Slauson that's not there anymore, but it's like Slauson and Normandy. It's like kind of close to there. So those places I learned like how to fight. I learned how to like get street smart, and then with Monterey, I learned how to be an adult. And I think that's something that's again a pivotal piece of like a conversation that we always miss when we talking about our journeys, like our adulthood. So
Sweet. Well, shout out to LA. I'm here. I'm loving it. I ain't never going back to the East Coast. Not at least for my life. No shade to the East Coast, but the West. You know what I'm saying? We're in the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to say, I have been following you for a while, and I'm very complimentary of all the work you putting in. I want you to share with everybody else since the last time you've been on, because like you said, I mean, it honestly hasn't been quite that long if you really put it in the calendar year, but you were on the last season of the beat. So just what have you been up to?
Everything. So since the last time we spoke, actually when we spoke, my foot was out. Like I couldn't left it, and that was due to a lot of stress and anxiety and trying to put everything together like just by myself as a solo artist, and also not crying. Again, we talk about emotional intelligence. I wasn't crying a lot, so that builds up in certain parts of your body. So once you release that, then like your body actually heals naturally. But yeah, going back, yeah, I couldn't walk my foot for about a month, the entire month of March gone. But I was still pulling up the places on crutches performing. Even even the night that we spoke, I had a performance right after we got done. I got acquainted with like a whole brand new community of people. Shout out to Palms Up Academy in Los Angeles. And they've been really like helped me sharpen my skills as an artist and just being around great people. So yeah, after that, got acquainted with that community. I went on tour in April, and it's been nonstop until what? Technically November. So April to November. There was like a small break, like mid-July to mid-August, and that happened because my body shut down again. I was not taking care of myself. My foot went out in May as well, and it went out in June, and then July my entire body went out for 2 days, and I couldn't move. I had stomach problems, and I was trying to like get a therapist. The medical system is trash. Still don't have a therapist, still trying. And yeah, I put out the deluxe edition of my album, and yeah, just been nonstop. Christmas Day, I finally got okay to perform in Switzerland. I'm excited about that. Shout out to Hip Hop Zoo Zurich. and Maitreya. So yeah, and shout out to the homie Urbane. Like Urbane, he's been like helping me out with putting stuff together recently, and the homie Miko as well. So yeah, you know, we just keeping it moving, keeping it going. Along with all that, I got 3 jobs and like dealing with my personal stuff. So it's stacked. It's a lot. I really don't have a lot of time for anything anymore. So yeah.
Well,
Oh, also back in school for another book, but yeah.
well, congratulations on that. I mean, again, like I said, I've been seeing the work that you're putting out, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. But it's even more awesome that your project management to be able to do all of that and maintain 3 jobs. Ridiculous, bro. Like it's a chef's kiss to being to a chef's kiss to project management. Like you really got to be on your stuff in order to keep that ball going. You know, just be careful with your health, like you said. We don't need you, shutting all the way down on us, again. But you're doing it, man, and I'm entirely proud of you, man. Seriously.
Thank you. And also before I forget, shout out to Vine Tree, West. We got a residency at the Museum of Contemporary Art. I'm DJing every third Thursday of the month for a year, and we're interviewing artists. So yeah, we're still accepting submissions. So if you want to like submit, like we get you down there, and it's like a whole podcast. We videotape it, re-record it, and everything, and upload it. So yeah, that's another project that's going on as well. So yeah.
Okay. I have my people call your people. Yeah, that's what's up though. Like I said, I wish you nothing but the best and nothing but good energy and wealth and growth in 2023 with that. I want to since we kind of tone a line, but in a nutshell, can you give us just a synopsis rundown, not with the stuff that you already said, but anything else beyond that, or if you want to share it again, feel free. Give us titles to your catalog, titles of the work, so forth and so on. Just let people know what are you currently working on. What are your current projects?
Current projects. Okay, so as I said earlier, just dropped a deluxe version of my album. The album is The Misadventures of Chrissiders, a science fiction themed album written by God. That's the tagline, because that's what it is. It's a science fiction album. And then recently I dropped the deluxe edition of that album with 7 new tracks. Shout out to DJ Chuck the Oso, Honor Flow Productions, July, the Homie West, Scenario, Nemesis Rigby, and yeah. So yeah, just did that. We're pushing that. Got a lot more music for y'all this coming year. Working with Michael on something, and I'm working on my next full-length album and other like smaller projects along the way as well, and working on stuff with Vine Tree and West. So yeah, this is gonna be a year. This is Jordan year. It's time. Full throttle.
Okay. I'm with that. That GOAT 23, man. We on that this year, for real. And I gotta put it, the little segue in there too. You gotta have a Donnie B got the beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, I was just thinking the other day, actually, I need to hit you up for some beats. So like, hey, get at me.
I'll try to get on. That plane, that train leave the station, man. Seriously. So for sure. All right, cool. Well, we about that time where we get to that feature, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely want y'all to stick around and check this out. I want you to demo what this song is. I want you to introduce it. You tell people what's coming. The warning song. Go ahead.
All right, so we're about to get into this joint called The Warning, Bushwick Billy's theme. And to give a little bit of context of like the theme, on this project, there's different sides of ourselves. I'm trying to illustrate. There's multiple sides of ourselves as humans. We got the lover side, we got the political side, we got the emotional side, and we got the violent side. So Bushwick Billy's theme is all about the violent side. And what I wanted to do, instead of like making a video of just like, channeling anger in just a random context, I wanted it to be in the context of like something meaningful. Because where I come from in South Central LA, like we always talk about police brutality and how we always want to rise up against corruption in our communities, killing kids. Like there's 2 kids on my block that got shot and killed by Gardena police. And so like it really made me fearful to like go outside and just go to 7-Eleven sometimes. My folks always like be fearful of like what's going on and whatnot. So this video illustrates us taking matters in our own hands. So when you see it, I'm getting chased by a police cop, and then he tackles me and whatnot, and then it goes to black, and then after that we got a politician tied up to the chair, and we just beating the hell out of the politician. And that is again just symbolizing our anger. I know a lot of folks was watching it like, why is he being violent? Like there's a meaning behind it, because we're tired, it's not pointless. And if you can't understand that, then you really don't understand what it means to be black. So shout out to the homie Carlo, directed the video, Louise, the idea, and came out excellent. Shout out to Angie, and here it is.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say, I've seen it myself, and it's very intriguing. I got my brother here, Chrissiders, and this is his feature warning with the Bushwick Billy theme. Check this out.
I almost got him. I still need backup. I got him on the ground. Hands behind your back. Stop resisting. I don't have shit on me.
Nah, nigga. Nah, fuck all that activism shit. Fuck that BLM shit, my nigga. Nah, Chris, we out here busting cats, my nigga.
Back on my bullshit, you know what it is. Bushwick Billy, hold a milli, never been no bitch. Talking all that bullshit, get a foot in your ass. In the back your mama house, cooking food, bare ass. With this melting flow, now dropping low. She a real one, then take it slow. Never been a fan of little niggas talking shit. We was once homies while you being a little bitch. You fucking trick. Y'all better hope I don't run into this. Beating this nigga ass. For beating this nigga ass. For beating this nigga ass. For beating this nigga ass. All my Citations left the motherfucking building. I'ma kick some children while hiding bodies in the fucking ceiling. Don't hit my goddamn line no more. Think you poppin', bitch, cause you went and sold your soul. Someone tell these niggas Bushwick ain't with the bullshit. Fuck snitching, I'ma pop you like I'm shook, bitch. Nigga with an attitude, rapping round them kind of suits. Ain't gonna get a dime from me, bitch. I'm bulletproof. From beating this nigga ass. 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 I'm on a 5-star run, GTA. Written poems for a bag, keep it in the safe. Descended from Jesus nerds to piss you off. Finish the job, Marshall Mathers stall. Relapse on the bitch and call her encore. Fuck a rap beef. Smoke on a loved one like Gucci. Los Angeles ghetto boy just gave a warning. Bushwick Billy, my mom playing tricks on me.
Who you really fucking with? Who you fucking with, nigga? Yeah, these motherfuckers don't, cops don't give a damn about us. These fucking activists don't give a shit about us. Fuck all that activism shit, nigga. I'm with that street shit, nigga.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's Warning from Chrissiders, man. So, I looking back at it, retrospect, man. How do you feel about this project? I know you were talking about it when you were, sharing the concept with everybody. But when you look at it back as a viewer, as a person that is a fan of the craft and fan of the art, how does it make you feel?
Heavy. That album was made during heavy times. It actually was evolved into like different projects. Originally, The Misadventures of Chrissiders was an album called Thank You for the Prayers. And that was about my life up until the point I got COVID and gave my life to God, my spirit to God. Because the third day I was in the hospital, I actually died and I actually came back. I saw pink, white, and blue lights, and somehow, like later on, I came back. So, it's again that's why I'm so blessful and grateful that I'm still here and be able to live life and like love unconditionally. So, yeah. So looking back on these tracks, it's it's just the word that comes to mind is privilege. Privileged. On the album I talk about like good things and hard things, very hard things. And yeah, I'm just still here. So
well, the world is a better place for it that you're still here, brother. And definitely a fan of your art and your message. And we're glad that you're still with us, and we know that you're going to deliver us with that great testimony that you have. That's for sure, brother. I want to ask you, since you've encompassed a whole bunch of stuff in a short span of time since the last time we spoke, I asked you this question before, but I want to ask you this question now. Just even with this truncated segment of time since the last time we spoke.
Mm-hmm.
What were your biggest obstacles in establishing yourself in the industry?
Within this past year, again, like just health. Like I got homies and collaborators and people that that I love dearly. I keep telling them like put your health first, and some of them feel that they're behind because they got to do certain things to take care of themselves first. But in reality, I feel that they're ahead of the curve. Like we seen it countless times with like legends that we revere in the community, and they're not well right now. And look how that impacted their craft and their artistry. So as for myself, it's so hard to stop because we know how this business is. You got to stay in people's faces all the time. So when it comes to like taking a break, it's like, how exactly do you implement therapy and like rest time, me time, in the midst of like you gotta post a video like almost every day, or you gotta record a song, make sure your skills are sharpened. How do you manage and come back to that? Those are questions that I ask myself every day, because again, like from starting January 17th all the way up until what, May or June. That's like the first leg, and then I headed to Switzerland in August. And there's talks about expanding that even further into other parts. So it's like, how do I get it together? Because once this takes off, there's no telling of how can I go back, you know. So to all the artists that are like taking care of themselves now, you're doing a fantastic job. Don't ever think you're way behind for putting yourself first. You should always put yourself first. You're the main priority.
Yeah.
Without you, there's no art. Think of it like that.
Yeah.
So that's been the biggest obstacle right now.
That's well said. Definitely well said. And the second question that's kind of the same, but a little bit different. It's a bit more specific. What is one big myth that you've encountered about the entertainment industry? And I'm sure that with all of this extra stuff that you've encountered within this past year, explain it to those that aren't in the industry, because you've done an amazing job so far representing the course of the rigors of the entertainment industry. But what's one big myth that you've encountered?
Well, we get to one of them is that like you can't do everything yourself. You can do everything yourself. That's possible. Just know it's hard. It's very difficult. That's the one. But like the main one I want to touch on is touring, because people like artists, we have this like glorified idea of what touring is. Like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna do this, like I'm gonna pop champagne, I'm gonna do all this other stuff. Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's hard. It's hard. And like coming out of pocket and then gotta wait for reimbursement on top of your check, and then don't see none of that until like probably a month or two later. So then you gotta live in the red for a minute. Yeah, that's tough. That's real tough. And again, on top of that, like I got a sick father at home. Like it kills me every time I leave the house because I see it on his face. I see it on his face. Even when like I'm just doing things out here in LA. So doing that, like, and we recently lost a family member in 2021, like his mother. So and I know it hurts. Same thing with my mother. She's going through a lot. And then also trying to maintain my relationships, like platonic and like romantic, because since I'm not well, like myself, emotionally, mentally, like it's hard to maintain those. And so, and all while touring. So touring is extremely difficult and taxing in every way, shape, or form. So like you got to be mentally, emotionally, and financially prepared, especially if you're independent.
Even more so if you're independent, more so.
Yeah,
because you don't have the team, you don't have the road managers per se, you don't have the people that get, you know what I mean, like all of this stuff you got to do it yourself, and and trust the small quantity of people that are with you to help guide you. But yeah, it's you're putting it, you're very, very eloquent with how you're putting it. It's very succinct and very eloquent because it's a necessity. And you touched on the relationship aspects, because that's something that I in all of these seasons I've asked this question, and that's never been in anybody's conversation about the effects that it has on the relationships, platonic or romantic or business wise. You know what I mean? So very, very hot topics to talk about and share. So I'm glad that you did. Now, with that being said, how do you wake up every day to face that?
And that's something I'm still figuring out. I'm still figuring it out. Like get up every day, I'm right to work, whatever one of the jobs I gotta do, and then right after that, like, all right, I gotta get back to writing a rap, or I gotta produce. Oh, like I gotta meet this deadline. I gotta write this poem because I'm still in school to do my fourth book, and or XYZ. I gotta make sure I'm keeping up with my folks. Um, yeah, it's still very difficult to this day, and at times I feel very guilty that I put my business first before my people. You know, even though I'm literally doing this for my people. Like me and my sister, we always talk about, oh yeah, we're gonna move off this street. Yeah, fuck this street. We gonna move off this street, and yeah, we're working tirelessly, like, you know, Jasmine, she got so many different things going on. I'm proud of her, like her own radio show, holding down jobs, multiple, and doing different things. And yeah, I do gain a sense of guilt for not always being there, and especially with my brother's passing in 2020. Didn't speak for years up until like the week before he passed, and the last word that I said to him was, "Let me figure out when we could talk because my work schedule is crazy." Didn't even get to say I love you. I still think about that every day.
Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry that you had experienced that. That's always difficult. All you can do is the best you can do from one day to the next. You feel me? And I've yet to meet a person that truly believes that they're perfect. We all make mistakes. You know, and you know, not to call that out or anything like that, or I call it and say that anything you did was a mistake. It's just, then, you know, mistakes is part of the job, man. So
Oh
yes,
yeah,
you can learn from it, and you know, carry it with the burdens that we wear. You know, I've lost my dad, and I still miss that every day. Every time I see a father with a son, it tears me up. You know, and like you, I left the East Coast to move to California, and my relationship with my children is suffering because they're still over there on the East Coast with their mom. You know what I mean? So I totally understand where you come from with that, you know, but sacrifice comes with the territory if you're doing it right, you know, and that's the unfortunate and sad truth to trying to egress and become, you know, become a legend, you know. So I applaud you. I applaud you for having the courage to wake up and endure it daily in order to make it better for everybody else. You know, people live through you, man. Make sure you understand that, and make sure you remember that. You know,
much love to you, and I applaud you as well. And my condolences. My condolences.
Yeah, same here, same here. But let's inject life back into this interview really quick.
Yeah.
So I think it's time, before we get into another quick segment, for a quick hot topic, because that's always my favorite. And it's 2023, and I can't have an interview without doing hot topics. So you know what time it is. It's time, dare I say, again, for that good old hot topic. Check this out. So, if you don't already know, I'm sure you remember how this goes. We got hot topics. Hot topics are random questions that are designed for the viewers to get to know who you are through these random questions. Let's keep it light, keep it fun. We definitely gonna keep it short because you've done this already, and I don't want to keep asking you the same damn questions. But I know that I ask you are subject. They are subject to change. So I'm gonna hit them with What's 3 things that the world doesn't know, that still don't know about Chrissiders? Or three things you still want to clarify that people still keep getting around?
That my last name is not spelled with a damn C. Stop. Stop. Oh, and them apple cider jokes ain't funny. Just saying. Like, be more original. That I'm sensitive, yo. I'm sensitive. I'm a lover. Can't help it. So yeah. Stop spelling my name with a C, and no more apple cider jokes, and that I'm sensitive.
Got you. 2 more of these. Netflix, what's on your visual playlist? What you watching that you want, something hot that you want to call out and see, put everybody up on if they ain't watched it, they ain't seen it. Let them know what time it is. It doesn't have to be Netflix. It can be Disney Plus, Hulu, Freebie, Tubi, whatever it is. It's just as long as it's visual.
Man, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, literally because I haven't been like watching damn thing. I haven't even seen Black Panther. I haven't even seen Spider-Man No Way Home, and everybody was giving me crap. Yeah, like I had no time. So the last thing I watched, from what I can remember, was Cobra Kai, the latest season.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the last thing I remember I like actually watched. Oh, and Power, Raising Kanan.
Okay.
I even finished season 2. So yeah.
Okay. And it's understandable because, like I said, with the whole part of the whole thing with Chrissiders is that he's super busy and he's always doing stuff. So it's totally understandable. You know what I mean? You're getting a lot of work done, and you're going to see the fruits of that labor. So it's not even a big deal with that. But this one might resonate with you a little bit more. My playlist popping. What's your audio playlist that gets your wheels turning, or inspiring you?
Ooh, man, hold on. Let me pull up my Spotify playlist. I'm always updating this one.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Hey, yo, Mr. Morale, you already know. Mr. Morale, give me Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, top of my playlist. The new Absol joint, Herbert, fire. That Primo joint at the end. Come on. Gotta rap. The Forever Story, JID. That's amazing. Oh, and that new Nas, King's Disease. What's a Stop. Phenomenal album. What else? Freddie Gibbs joint. And I've been getting a little bit more into like pop lately, just to expand my sound. More. I have some friends like making me playlists and whatnot. I've been listening to them more, so I could branch out. Also, Westside Boogie, more Black superheroes.
Okay.
Shmino, Love for Rent, and Cleo Soul. Have you heard of Cleo Soul?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, yeah, check out Cleo Soul. Her album Mother is really good, and there's another album. There's this track she has called When I'm in Your Arms. You're gonna love her, trust me. I already sampled her at least 3 times. So
okay.
Fire. So yeah, that's those I would say for right now is in heavy rotation. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. My playlist is devolving actually. I'm digging on a lot of crates. So I'm listening to a lot of old school music. Fela Kuti, Marvin Gaye, just sample, Ronald, let's see, I'm saying it wrong. Robert Glasper, Glover, I'm sorry, Ronnie Foster, just old school music, man. Just really, what's his name? Shoot, what is his name? I can't even remember his name right now, but just listen to a lot of old school stuff. And I'm ashamed to say I'm just catching up to the catalog of Mac Miller. Rest in peace. Mac Miller has some work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really like I've been vibing a lot to his music the last month, and it's been helping me out. So definitely, I love your playlist. You know what I'm saying, and I definitely will take you some of your some tidbits and see if I can update my playlist and keep it moving. But honestly, I just be trying to look for people that I know and adding their stuff to my playlist as well, man, and just supporting and just vibing out to see what my peers is doing. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. You know. But thanks for the hot topics. Thanks for sharing. A couple more questions, then we're gonna let you get up out of here. I want to take the time to transition to something that's trending right now. I have a new segment that I'm working on. It's called Pop Life. So in Pop Life today, what are your thoughts on the shooting in Rich Neck, Virginia? Are you familiar with the shooting in Rich Neck, Virginia? Just happened today.
Not at all.
So apparently a young 6-year-old shot a teacher in school, and it was purposeful. Now, if you're not familiar with Rich Neck, Virginia, I'm very familiar with Rich Neck, Virginia, because that is affectionately known as, or officially known as, Newport News, Virginia. And I went to Hampton, which is in Hampton Roads, Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk area. And I gotta say, it's strange territory. That's home of the Clips and the Neptunes, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Magoo, all of that right there, all of them right there. There's plenty of other people that are in the music industry from that area. As a matter of fact, Chris Brown is from about 30 minutes from there as well. The fact that this young kid got a gun, brought it to school, shot his teacher. My thoughts on it is, it doesn't even really matter why the child did it. The fact of the matter is he did it. Now, then I had to, I'm probably get crucified for this one and get dragged, but then I got to quantify, because the detail that is specific is that this is a young Caucasian child. Now, if this is a young African-American child, I think the narrative would have been a little bit different.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%. I agree.
Now, again, I'm not here for it because, it didn't happen. It was a Caucasian child.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's the same thing as the assault or the march on the Capitol Hill, where if it was the people of the darker hue marching across that lawn, we'd have been mowed down.
1,000%. And we all know that, because what's the first thing people are gonna speculate? Oh, black child with a gun. Oh, something must be going on at home.
Yep.
Oh, must be in poverty. Must be XYZ. Yeah, no one doesn't really question these white kids.
Yeah.
Just like the white kid that shot up the church, and mass murder. Bottom Burger King after, come on now. No one doesn't question that.
The thing that always strikes me with these scenarios and situations is with specificity. Unfortunately, and I'm not trying to punch down on the race or the child, but the thing that troubles me the most is that how quickly the media pushes that to the side for that demographic. Whereas if it's black people, we're gonna keep this. It's gonna stay in the media. It's gonna get dragged, and that person's gonna get dragged. That person's family is gonna get dragged. I feel, and that's just my opinion, and I am due my opinion on it. That's my biggest problem, is that if it's people of the lighter persuasion, okay. Well, it happened, okay, and it's no formal apology or it's just, it happened, it's unfortunate, and then it's forgot about. But if it's us, then it's, oh, well, we have to, people, the Kyrie Irving situation. Well, he did this, so now he got to go apologize, and he got to go do all of this stuff, and he still can't play, and he still has to serve a sentence, and he still gets punished, and doctors pay, and he still has to. It's like we got to go through all of these hurdles, but we still gotta keep your chin up, and act like we what I'm saying, and like you're supposed to just eat it. If you show any kind of emotion, or you're not humbling yourself, you need to be humble. You need to be taught. You need to be canceled.
Yeah, we don't give grace to each other when it comes to cancel culture. Like, we don't give grace to each other or like acknowledge the fact that we're human. Like, everybody's gonna fuck up at a certain point. We're all gonna say something that's gonna piss somebody off, like, regardless.
Exactly.
I don't care who you are. There's not one perfect human being on this planet. So, and I mean, just like when they got at Kendrick for Auntie Diaries. Have you heard about that? Yeah. So, and I understand the other side of it. Like, the F-bomb shouldn't be dropped, period. Especially like if you're not of that community and you don't understand the history of that behind that word. Because the history behind the word is the F word was originated. It means bundle of sticks, and what they did back in the day is tie people of the LGBTQ plus community to sticks and burn them alive. So that's why it hurts. And I'm of that community. I identify as queer pansexual. So it is painful to hear. The angle that he took it from is he's speaking it in the language of someone that doesn't know any better and try to educate them. So you can't get mad at somebody in the community for being offended by him dropping the line, dropping the word, and at the same time it's kind of weird, like, the angle again of which he's approaching it, like trying to speak to people that don't know any better, but like there should be a better choice of like way of presenting it. It's so convoluted, but again, like with cancel culture, it doesn't allow him to like grow from that experience of like, yo, you shouldn't have done that, and like actually try to educate versus like, nah, like you got Google, like, but what about the people that don't have Google? What are the people that don't even know what to look up? There's so many, it's more complicated than that. So again, that's, and just coming from as a kid from South Central, the example I always use all the time, NWA, they got crucified for, I get it, for misogyny, and that's because like the environment that they was in, they didn't have any like great male role models. They saw the hustlers on the block, the gangbangers and whatnot. They reporting back of what they're seeing in a certain type of language that people don't understand. Does it make it right? No, it doesn't make it right. But you do have to understand that the type of education that was accessible at the time, it wasn't accessible at all.
Right.
So just like again with Kendrick, we don't know his education level. We don't know. We know about Compton, but like we don't know how far in his education he got. We don't know what kind of conversations he's having. So it's like he's utilizing what he knows, and again, it doesn't make it right. And we got to do it better as a community and as a people to love one another.
Yeah, and I agree with that assessment. And I mean, thank you for sharing that. And you put the words together amazingly to give understanding in that regard. I think the biggest thing is we as Americans, I feel we need to have a better understanding of that. If this is the land of the free, and we are indeed a free society, then we should be champions of the freedom freedom of expression, let alone the freedom to make a mistake and to be able to be forgiven and allow the chance to rectify that mistake. You know what I mean? And I feel that that's the part. It's almost as it's you get crucified for making a mistake and then forced into an apology, like the whole Will Smith thing. It's like, okay, cool, he slapped Chris Rock. That's understandable to an extent to certain people. To some people, it's not. Obviously, it's more shocking to the people that didn't expect it. But if you were from where I'm from, and somebody talk about your lady, and they have a history of doing it, enough is enough, okay? And he just lost his temper on the highest stage possible, and that happened. The problem was after that, though, it's oh, well, he didn't apologize in a timely fashion. Well, maybe he took the time he needed to do to learn from it so he can come back with a genuine apology. But now you want to punch down on him because it wasn't to your liking. Who knew that he was supposed to be on a time clock? That's the whole thing with this society. I feel that this society is very judgmental and privileged because everybody has a voice on Twitter and everybody has Twitter thumbs and everybody wants to cancel everything. You can't do anything without people trying to cancel you. You know, so I feel it's an unfortunate space for us to be in at unfortunate times. But how you kill it is with kindness and you kill it with knowledge. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, the more you educate yourself on these scenarios and situations, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure in that regard. That's just my piece on it.
No,
but you agree?
No, I definitely agree on that. That's definitely a fair assessment as well. Again, like, just comes down to we got to do a better job of showing love with one another and accepting that we're humans. None of us is God, so how can you judge? You know, and like, yeah, I definitely understand like the history of oppression and, you know, with uh with our groups and the intersectionalities and whatnot.
Yeah.
However, like, it's just giving grace and time because people don't know. We all come from different places, come from different backgrounds, and some of them come from very violent households where, you know, don't know any better, don't know the language. So we gotta, yeah, do better.
Yeah. Yeah. I jokingly say it, but there's a lot of seriousness to the joke. Is that if you truly want to get a gauge on society, watch people and how they drive in traffic. That'll tell you everything you know about society. You know, some people run right out in front of a car, don't even pay attention. You know, some people, you know, obey the rules along the road. Some people obey the rules of the road so much so that they don't even speed. They go hit the speed limit exactly. There's people that totally disregard it and drive with reckless abandon. That's life. You know what I mean? And I just feel that's an interesting perspective on life and how people move in society. That's just my piece and my 2 cents with it. But we wrapping up with we almost at time. I definitely am thankful that you had the time to share with us your art. And at any point in time, you're always welcome on the beat, man. Anytime you got something new, definitely would love to have you back and share your story, man. Because I love how your story is evolving and you get to share it as it's evolving. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely blessed for that. I do want to ask what is your last final thoughts and advice for aspiring talent now that you have been you was on the previous season, you encountered and accomplished a lot and grown a lot since the last time? What advice do you have for us now coming back to the game, back to the beat?
Always bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself, no matter what position that you're in. Always bet on yourself. Always put yourself first and take care of your health. No one's gonna take care of your health with you. That's the unfortunate, messed up reality, but you gotta take care of it. And I'm suffering right now because I'm not taking care of my health properly in the way that I should. So, yeah, those are the biggest pieces of advice I could give. Yeah,
Love it. Very sound advice. Last question, and the most important, as I always say, how can people learn more about you? What is your social media? How can people find out information on you, so forth and so on?
You can find everything at chrissiders.com. chrissiders.com. Go there. You see all my services, the testimonials, the videos, and yeah, and Chris Siders everywhere too. Like, type in Chris Siders on Spotify, Apple Music, everything will pop up. On Instagram, I'm at the Chris Siders, Chris Siders, ChrisSiders, all that's one word. On Instagram, go follow me. Yeah, and I accept Facebook requests too. So yeah, Christopher Siders. Yeah, just I'm everywhere, so I ain't too hard to find.
My man. So with that being said, like I said, we're at time, and I appreciate you for coming on again. What you got? Any last words? Any last shout outs that you wanted to throw out there?
Shout out my family, my father, my mother, my sister Jasmine, the bros, Vine Tree, Wes and Mari, DJ Chuck the Old Soul. He's actually my music mentor. That's Unc. Love you, Unc. Shout out July. Shout out Palms Up Academy, Ariana Bo, Sun Lu, Ray Chai. Yeah, like that's family right there. So yeah, much love to everybody.
Sweet. Yeah, shout out to the entire Siders family. I see how they move. They heavy in these streets, man. Jasmine Sweets, that's my fam. Love her to death. One of the hardest working women in the business, in the game. So shout out to the whole Siders family. Shout out to everybody that Chris just mentioned. And again, kudos to you, brother, for all of the hard work you put in, man. It does not go unnoticed. Keep your head up. Keep moving, and keep being a pioneer and that light in the dark for everybody. Because when you look back in 10 years from now and see all of the work that you put in, it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy, So just keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
Like I said, hang on for a bit, so we can button up everything after this is over with. But it's been a pleasure to have you on, and we will talk soon. So just stand by. Everybody else, make sure you like and subscribe Chris Siders, and follow him on all social media, on all World Wide Web. Even the dark web. I'm sure you can find Christopher Siders on the dark web. He might not be on there, but you can find his stuff on there. That's for sure. But make sure, regardless, like, follow, subscribe, the whole nine. Make sure you support this brother while he's making big waves out here. Like, follow, subscribe to the beat. So again, we're in mid-season 6. We had to do our mid-season pause. So we like mainstream now. We got mid-season pauses, man. We taking breaks in the middle of the season to get back with it. You know what I mean? But definitely stay tuned. We got 50th season coming up this coming Sunday, and we got Timothy Timothy gonna kill me. Timothy Heron, next Thursday. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. But like, follow, and subscribe at dbgdb on all social media. Like and subscribe, follow. You can check us out. We got pages. We're on IMDb. We everywhere. You know what I mean? And we really gonna step everything up a notch by way of marketing and promo this year. You will have heard of us if you haven't already. With that being said, I am Donnie B. Got the Beats. We live on the beat, and we about to be out, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody be safe, and talk to you next time. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna leave you with a message from my sponsor, Imagine Elevation. Here we go.
That's just what the fuck we do.
Breezy Beats.
Donnie B.